Hey, hi, howdy-o. I am Aaron or Ren, and welcome to the 12 FPS. This is A Bit Cliched. Today I will be playing as Dylan Revenant along with the other player for this FPS.
Hi, I'm the second half of this gay ass situation, and I'm VP, and I'm going to be playing Crew Velvet.
Yeah. Real quick, before we get in, to those listening in, I am currently recovering from a cold. I'm going to be muting my microphone whenever I cough or blow my nose or anything, but just in case I get quiet or forget, that's why.
Alas.
Yeah. Curse sickness, curse illness.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Regardless, I will let you start us off then.
Huzzah! Okay, I'm aware that this is a little bit late, but for now, we're going to do a little bit of time travel, us, the audience, and the players. So, we're going to be flipping through the pages of history all the way back to family bonding. For those who have not listened to family bonding, basically, Crew takes his kids onto a work vacation, sort of, figuring that he can do his bodyguard duties for an old guy while also um, taking his kids over to Ghibli. Things go south as the guy turns out to be some sort of evil lich and promptly gets sent to jail. Huzzah! But since Crew has gotten some of his payment and is currently spending the rest of the week, I'd say, over at Ghibli, he's currently out and about walking down the parks as the kids have gone off to entertain themselves with other sights. But he's strolling down the park, admiring the lush detailing, the warm coziness that Ghibli normally brings with its art style and its aesthetics. And he's just
Mhm.
taking in the current environment. What's Dylan up to?
So it's been a few weeks since his last interaction with Tongi, and in mostly wanting to, as he's become a little bit inspired to try and meet new people at the very least, he's been trying his best to stop by places, that he knows people will be at on his walks with Bingo. He doesn't he gets way too nervous to actually approach anyone though. He's a little bit scared of social interaction, if he's gonna be honest. The most interaction that he tends to get is with his sister or with work acquaintances.
Alas, tragedy on planet Earth. Where would you say he's hanging out right about now?
Um, what I was thinking is that maybe he's like sitting on an outdoor patio of like a coffee shop of some kind, relatively close to maybe the park the crew is looking around in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So he's able to actually like see people walking through the park and everything, or walking down the street and so on and so forth.
That's fair. I think I remember from whatever we did have planned. So how does Dylan feel upon seeing a particular gentleman walking down the street? I imagine Crew, um, during his walk, pauses briefly to admire the gorgeous shines of a lake. You know, all the way back in Toontown, Giznip doesn't tend to put as much focus into the scenery around them as Ghibli does. And he's admiring
Yeah.
the little sparkles within the lake, like, ooh, oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so Dylan is sitting there and staring at him, and his heart his heart starts racing a little bit. Not too much, but his heart is definitely beating in his chest, and he's staring at him intently. And he has like every fiber of his body trying to get him to actually speak to him, try to get him to talk to him, but he just can't bring himself to do it. He's too scared. But his thoughts are mostly awash with, oh my god, he's so pretty. Oh my goodness, I need to say hi. Oh my god, he's gorgeous. What?
Tragedy on Planet Earth fell head over heels as soon as saw this
Yeah,
tall gentleman.
he's a mess. He's a mess.
You know what? Let's do some dice rolling here.
Hmm.
I don't. Tragedy on Planet Earth. Hang on, folks.
Oh,
I completely forgot that I rerouted a lot of things, and now my links don't work.
oh,
So I need to pull up Cruise's character sheet.
okay.
One moment. Goddamn, one moment, folks.
Take your time, take your time.
Gonna not take too long. There we go. What's your perception? And how do I
Oh,
roll here?
yeah, we have every, so it is this exclamation point or,
Yep, there we go. An
oh,
11. That's above average. So,
mhm.
I imagine Crue pulling himself away from the shininess of the lake, just kind of glances over to the coffee shop, looks over it, and just shrugs. Might as well treat himself to something. And he begins to come closer towards the coffee shop. Uh,
Dylan,
I think with an
just
11,
like,
he briefly glances over to Dylan.
Dylan, starts sweating and just like hides his face in one of the menus, like, oh goodness, oh, what am I supposed to do? He's coming right here. Oh no.
Oh, bother for you, Dylan. Oh, bother. Doing an insight check with that. Just for funsies. A nice little insight. Nope, can't read that.
Oh,
Nope, I. Hang on, folks.
there you go.
17. Do you want to do a contesting deception?
Um, you know what? Sure. I really hope that Dylan fails this one because this would be really
You
funny.
could do it
But
with disadvantage due to the fact that, oh god, oh fuck, he's coming over here. I didn't see
yeah,
this coming.
yeah. 13.
Well,
I mean,
regardless, both
yeah,
rules were beneath Cruz's insight.
yeah. So it's pretty easy for him to tell that. Oh God.
Crue glances at Dylan and sees the fact that this particular individual got really flustered upon him coming closer. And he looks down to Dylan, smirks a little bit, and pushes his way into the coffee shop. He doesn't say anything. What does
Is,
what does Dylan do with that?
um, is he going inside? Like,
He's going inside of the coffee shop
oh,
because Dylan was outside of it.
okay, yeah. Dylan is just like he doesn't really know what to do with that, but I mean, part of him is a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, he's like, ah, yes, I've successfully avoided social interaction.
Congratulations. He doesn't do anything with the sudden nothingness.
He's just, I
I'm
mean,
just curious.
he's mostly just like, I mean, he still really wants to talk to him, but he's so scared to speak to anyone right now.
During Dylan's like panic and being like, "Oh god, oh fuck. What do I do?" Oh peck. Just sitting there contemplating. The door swings back open and Crue returns back out holding two drinks. And he kind of gives Dylan a tap on the shoulder and holds one out towards him.
He just stares at him, um, a little bit confused, and his face turns a little bit more red.
I'm sorry. It's I'm sorry. All thoughts have left my head. Oopsie daisy. Okay, hang on. I do apologize for the suddenness of this. I couldn't help but see you glancing over, and I thought you might be interested in a bit of a conversation. I bought you some coffee.
Uh, uh, I uh
I didn't really know what you liked, so it's mostly mainly black. They have some things in there that you could add to it, like sugar.
why, thank you. And he just sets the menu down and he takes the cup and um sort of gestures at the chair that's opposite of him.
I am a little curious though. Where did he get the menu? Because I don't. I've never really been to a coffee shop that has a menu that you take with you.
Admittedly, I've just been basing this off of the coffee shop that's in town here.
Ah,
So
I was somehow convinced that Dylan just has some random menu from some restaurant purely for the purposes of hiding his face. That would honestly be fucking hilarious if he just carried around a random menu.
that would be so funny, honestly.
Emotional support menu. Thank you, Gross.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, if is Dylan like sitting on a bench or something?
I was just thinking that he's like in I don't know how to describe it. It's like a table with like an umbrella above it, and then there's two chairs.
Crue pulls one of the chairs out and takes a seat at the same table as Dylan, just kind of propping his head with one arm. He's sitting a little bit sideways if he can. He's crossing his legs, the whole shebang.
Oh,
As
he's sitting at like a typical gay man, of course.
I don't know what you anticipated from him. But he's looking over at Dylan and he's, oh, what's your name?
Um, Dylan kind of why is the light flickering in here? Hold on, give me a second.
Technical difficulties, everyone. We cannot go 5 seconds of being gay without something going wrong.
Sorry about that. I had to turn the light on off. Anyway, so Dylan is staring in the reflection of the coffee at himself for a little bit, and then he speaks up and just, you can call me Dylan.
Dylan. What a beautiful name. You can call me Elliot. And I was gonna say that he puts it. No, he will still put a hand out to shake Dylan's.
Yeah, Dylan kind of stares at that for a little bit, and then takes his hand to shake it.
Crue gives him a nod.
So,
Tell me a bit about yourself. Are you from around here?
He's a little bit taken aback. But he just nods and yeah, I usually just stop by here when I'm taking my dog on a walk. And to that he raises the leash that he's currently holding on to, and Crue can see a little Pomeranian dog right at Dylan's feet.
Crue. I know that Pomeranians are actually, how small is a Pomeranian puppy?
I mean,
because I really want to do the gag of
he's
like
really tiny.
I wanted to do the gag of Crue like looking down, seeing no dog, and then just kind of starting to follow the leash, and then he sees a little dust ball, and he's like, ah, oh, hi, Bingo.
I actually need to see what Pomeranian puppies look like now. Because I usually draw him as full grown. Oh my goodness, they're so
They're
weepy.
small. Pomeranians are small, and I assume their puppies are smaller.
They're so weepy. Oh my goodness, he's so tiny.
I'm going to see if I can add an image of a Pomeranian puppy to OBS.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my
Okay, well, I
goodness.
tried. We'll have to do that in post production.
Hmm.
But
If
yeah,
you remember.
I'll try. But regardless, Crue looks down to the itty bitty Pomeranian dust ball, and he's like, "Oh, what a sweet little darling. How old is he?" And he extends a
Oh,
hand towards Bingo, like, "Come here, boy. Let me pet you.
he
You look so
just
soft and fluffy."
immediately. He's incredibly soft and fluffy. Immediately leans into the pets.
Crue feels the pets and is like, "Oh, are you sure you don't have a cloud as a pet? This is the softest thing I have ever felt."
Dylan laughs a little at that. He's about like I want to say maybe a month or two old at this point. I haven't really kept track lately. I mean, he's at least a few months old.
Oh, little buddy.
He's really sweet.
I have a I have a cat, though my cat is quite rather the opposite of your little puppy. Huge.
Ah,
I think kind of puts his arms out, approximately the size of Princess, his cat son. It's just like
I think that yeah, I think that's the
I think
best
he's a
way to describe him.
I've been told that he's. Eli keeps telling me that he's a Maine Coon. Eli, my doctor. My doctor keeps telling me that he's probably a Maine Coon. Though he
Oh,
certainly exceeds it by a little bit.
yeah, I wouldn't really be able to say much. I don't know that much about cats.
Well, regardless. Massive cat. He's incredible for hugs and cuddles. I love him with all my heart.
Hmm.
His
I,
name is
I,
Princess. And he
oh, that's sweet.
thinks very lovingly of his cat Princess.
If he was here, he would claw Dylan's face off.
Ah, Crew wouldn't even be mad. Well, maybe just a little bit, but
Yeah, regardless, Dylan smiles a little to that. He thinks it's relatively sweet.
yeah. So what do you do around here?
Like in terms of like my job or
Sure. What do you do for a living?
um,
I'm a little curious.
well, I am a
Fashion model?
lawyer.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Oh, nothing. A lawyer. And he raises a brow a little bit. Uh, you could do an insight check upon the fact of mentioning the fact that you're a lawyer to him.
I definitely will. That's a 17.
You definitely catch a bit of a change in the way that he's been talking to you, as you mentioned the fact that you're a lawyer. He's been, I assume, mostly, he's been acting all nice and sweet and loving, but now all of a sudden he sounds a little bit more serious as he leans in and asks, "What kind of lawyer are you?"
Uh, I mean, I kind of do quite a few things, but I mostly specialize in like what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know, murder cases. There's more to it than that, but that's the best way I can really describe it right now.
Hmm. With a 17 to insight, you definitely see a bit of a change in something of the fact that, like, ah, ooh, I see. I'm playing with fire here.
Dylan just kind of squints a little to that. He doesn't really understand why he's really reacting this way, but he's not. I mean, he is smart, but I don't think he's smart enough in this moment to really read too far into it because pretty man, really pretty gorgeous man right here, right now.
There's something suspicious about this pretty guy, but I'll excuse it because he's pretty.
What can I say? He's biased.
But yeah,
He's biased.
very much so biased. But as Crew kind of looks at him a little bit, just a little bit suspiciously, like, okay, I see what you are. Well, I'm a little. Do you. Where do you live around here? Within
Um,
any of these apartments?
I actually live relatively close by. I live near a RV park because I live in an RV actually. But I am relatively close to one of the apartments actually.
Hmm. RV?
Hmm. I know that not a lot of people would really consider it the most glamorous form of living, but it works and I like it.
Hmm. Crew was a little worried for a second, but he waves away that train of thought before it can fully form, and he leans back forward with propping his chin on both hands that kind of like interlaced each other, you know.
Dylan is getting exponentially redder and just leaning further back in his chair.
So do you have any hobbies?
Oh, that is a can of worms.
Well then show me the worms. What are your hobbies?
Okay, so how do I describe this? I really like plants. I think they kind of take over my life a little bit sometimes.
In a parasitic way?
Um, I need to close the chuds distracting me. Um, but yes, I really like plants. I also like to do music occasionally. It's not really something that I would consider doing as like a job or anything. I mean I've thought about it sometimes, but I just prefer it as like a hobby.
What are some of your favorite plants?
Dylan just takes in a deep breath and is trying so hard to stop himself from speaking because he knows he will be talking for like a full hour about this.
Crew is looking at him with a little bit of a raised brow, having a hard time picking one.
I no, I just have a good few that I know I will be talking about for a while.
How long do you consider a while?
Maybe like an hour or two or more, depending on how much you engage. Although, to be honest, knowing me, I will probably go on even if you don't engage too much.
You're rather honest, aren't you?
What?
How often do you talk about your plants that you can roughly estimate how long you go on for?
Um, well, the funny thing is, I don't actually talk to a lot of people.
Oh, tragedy.
What's tragic about that? Wait, is that a bad thing?
Chris kind of got a little bit of a concerned look to Dylan's reaction of like, is that tragic? And Chris like, oh, you poor sweet boy. You poor guy. Do you not have friends? Buddy.
No, he doesn't.
I'm going to insight Dylan to see if Crue can gather like, does this guy have friends? Does this guy have anybody?
No, no.
That's a 21. Oh my
Yeah, he
god.
just instantly reads. He just does not speak to anyone except for like one or two people.
Yeah, Crue just picks up on the fact that, oh, this poor guy. He has nobody to talk to. Well, how about this? You can tell me all about your favorite plants while we go on the go. Well, we take our coffee on the go. God, I am such a wordsmith.
You are. Good
But
job.
he stands up, Chris stands up, taking his coffee, and just, oh, just kind of, come on. So, what were some of your favorite plants to look after?
Um, Dylan just takes a minute to pull himself up, and he takes his coffee and calls for Bingo a little bit just to have him follow them along while they start walking. I okay, I'm trying to figure out how to start this actually. To begin, I really like honeysuckles a lot. I can't really put my finger on it. Actually, no, I do have a lot of feelings about it. I just
You don't have to give the whole shebang.
I won't, but because I'm sorry, I love Dylan and I do know a little bit about flowers from playing as him, but I don't know enough to actually start an entire rant for him about them. So I will say, as they're walking, he spends quite a long time talking about honeysuckles and the different native species of honeysuckles and the different families and the genus and so on and so forth, the meaning behind them, and a lot among other flowers that he does like, but it is pretty easy to gather that honeysuckles are his 100% number one favorite.
Oh, beloved. Crue is very much trying to listen in on whatever he could gather, and for funsies, just so he keeps throwing dice around, I'm gonna do an intelligence check for him to see how much he actually retains of what's being thrown at him. Because I think at some point his brain just smooths over and all of the information
Yeah.
comes in one ear, comes out the other.
I mean, yeah, because he.
That's an 8. He tunes out pretty quickly.
Oh my goodness.
It's just, at that point, Dylan just becomes background noise for Crue to listen to.
Yeah. It's 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 fine.
He only catches that, oh, this guy really likes honeysuckles. Okay. And then just does not listen to the different variations in honeysuckles, their growing conditions, and other fun facts and tidbits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it takes. I think by the time that Dylan reaches the end, I think it's. I think it's partially funny if like Dylan finishes up and Crue is still like nodding along on a little bit unresponsive. Uh, Dylan comes up, waves a hand in front of his face, and Crue
Yeah.
just goes, "Oh, ooh, my apologies. Are you finished?"
Uh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I think I tuned out near the end there. I do
Um,
greatly apologize. He says as if he didn't, like, skip 80% of the conversation.
oh no, it's all right. I was talking for a while, so I do understand. I did actually want to apologize because I've been talking an awful lot about myself this whole time. I actually wanted to ask
I
more
think that's
about.
perfectly fine.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, my apologies.
Um, so I I was wanting to ask a little bit more about you actually, because I mean I feel like you know.
Are you certain you don't
Um,
have a second favorite?
he just kind of stares at Crew for a little bit. I'm gonna roll another insight.
What's your least favorite plant, if you have one? I want to hear what.
24. He
It's
sees right through this man.
just there's something fishy about this guy.
Why are you so cagey about talking about yourself? I'm not really one to judge anyone.
Oh, it's nothing in particular. It's just that I really don't have anything interesting to say.
I mean, I don't really consider
You.
myself an interesting person, but I feel like people tend to surprise you in that regard.
He says that he's not interesting, but as Dylan with a 24 looks him over, this guy definitely says something very interesting, especially with the cane that he has, the
Yeah,
the expensive jacket. There's definitely something interesting with him.
yeah. So yeah, to that Dylan just gestures to him and he's like, sure you're interesting. I feel like people tend to be walking surprises in that regard. So to start us off, what do you work as?
And he doesn't seem to be particularly happy to be answering that, but he grunts a little bit. To be honest with you, I work at the newspaper printing shop that's all the way over at in Toontown.
Oh, that is far.
Oh yes, no, me and a few of my kids are here on a bit of a workation.
Oh, you have kids? What are they like?
Well, I would like to begin that they're not my kids. Not that I kidnapped them, don't worry. It's just for the fact that I'm
Um,
looking after them for now until I find their real parents. But
fostering?
sure, yes. I'm fostering them for now until I find them a much more suitable home. But we're
Hmm.
currently here in Ghibli. They're spunky little kids, definitely have a lot of energy to them. Maybe a little bit misdirected energy. And he glances back at Dylan with that dirty lawyer look. But
It just kind of squints again at that.
it's just a glance. You catch it briefly, but
He does not know what that means.
you don't have to. But they're absolutely lovely. Wonderful children. Would have asked for nothing less.
Oh, well, I think that it's sweet that you're looking after them right now.
Mm. But yes, currently here for workation.
You trying to find like a he's kind of thinking because he doesn't really know a lot about newspapers or the production of them, so he doesn't really see how that would really come into play with his job. But
Oh, don't worry about it.
he's just like, are you like a journalist or something? Is that what you mean by newspaper? Is that why you have like a work vacation or something? Like what is that? How do you what?
Oh. Mm. Not particularly. I sometimes double as somebody who's here to help set up equipment.
Oh.
I don't actually work with any of the journalists. Oh, you know how the world treats journalists. It's real risky business. So instead,
Yeah.
I just print the news and I just help film it. I don't actually say anything.
Oh, well, I think that's still a good job anyway. I mean, um, currently cycling through his brain trying to figure out nice things to say about people who print newspapers.
It's alright, darling. If you don't know what to say.
He just kind of he immediately whips his head around to look at Crue at that nickname.
What, did I say something wrong? He's looking smug. He knows exactly what he said.
No, you didn't say anything wrong.
My, you're turning an awful shade of red. Are you sick?
He just immediately rests both hands on either side of his face and just turns away. Not Crue's face, his own face.
Puts both his hands on Chris's face and just turns him away so he can't
No.
see.
No, he just turns.
No, I know.
I mean, actually, no, that mental image is very funny.
That is a very funny mental image of just turning his head away.
I want to go with that. Actually, it's really funny.
You hear a loud crack sound as you turn Chris's head, and he's kind of stands up full, takes both of his hands and like crack turns it back.
And when he looks back at Dylan, he's burying his face in his hands.
Well, you don't have to be shy about it. It's
I'm
alright.
not. I'm not sick. I'm fine. I just.
Yeah, just.
I have a lot of very fuzzy feelings right now.
Oh! Maybe you are sick.
I'm not sick. I wouldn't. Actually, no, never mind. I probably would still be here if I was. But I'm not sick.
Then what do you explain this fuzzy feeling?
I don't want to.
He's looking smugger and smugger. Oh, please.
Anyway,
I'm doing for me.
so anyway, so as I was saying,
And I think at that point, Crew's going to kind of extend a hand and he's going to shift the coffee over to his other hand and he's going to hook his cane over like his elbow and stuff. So it's just hanging there on the coffee arm. And he's going to extend a hand and wrap it around Dylan just to kind of hug him close.
I'm currently trying to figure out how to bring Bingo into this play because I know what's supposed to happen next, but I don't really know how to introduce that.
I think the two are already getting really chummy.
They definitely are. Um,
Nothing in this has been cliched yet. Quick.
yeah, hurry.
Bingo has a really good suggestion of Bingo
Oh yeah,
sees a squirrel.
that would be really good. Yeah. So, as Cree as Cree does that, Bingo immediately starts barking and spinning around in circles, and immediately starts to run around in circles around their feet. Dylan the entire time calling at Bingo, going, "Hey, quit! Stop! What, Bingo? Hey, sit!" And just immediately spinning around them and quickly just tightening the leash around them and kind of I don't know how to phrase this. Basically they're pretty much tied together at this point.
Uh, this comes as a total shock to Crew due to the fact that, like, oh fuck, oh damn it, I was doing
Yeah.
so well. This is getting me off my groove. And as he's being squeezed together with Dylan on this. He's just, this is exactly why I'm a cat person. Cats never do this.
Dylan immediately looks back at the crew like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Things like this just happen. It's alright.
Uh, I don't know what to do.
Well,
Just
tell
kind
your
of,
dog to run in the opposite direction. I don't know.
how is that going to untie us?
What? You haven't taught your dog how to do commands?
I have. I just haven't been in this situation before exactly.
Never been in a situation like this. He's never spun circles around you.
Well, he's spun circles around me, but he hasn't spun circles around me to the point where he ties me up next to someone.
My cliched bit. Hmm?
What?
Oh, well. I might have something to fix this, but that depends on how much you value this leash.
Are you saying to cut the leash?
It's the only solution I have.
I don't really want him to run off in that case.
Chris pretty certain he can catch a speeding dog, but if it does choose to run off, he's
Buddy,
pretty
he
certain.
is like the size of the palm of your hand.
He's got +3 dexterity. He'll be fine.
It's a +3, it's fine. Dylan over here with his -1.
He's got a +3 dexterity. He can catch a little speeding dog.
Hmm.
If he tried. But unless Dylan suggests something better.
Um, so before we even think about that, how about we try to at least get untangled here?
How do you recommend?
How do I describe this? I don't know the best example for this. It's like, you, like, pull your arms through certain things that you can pull your arms through, and I don't know.
You're not making a lot of sense right now.
I know!
Poor Dylan. I'm going to start making a dexterity check for Crue to see if he can wiggle
Yeah.
his way out.
Yeah, that's what he was referring to, but
It's fine. He's just going to okay, I'm going to start trying to find a non-cutting solution to this. If I don't, I will start cutting. 22. Dylan, do you want to also roll to see how well you do?
I will. Hold on.
Come on,
I
Dylan.
almost put 1d30. One. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
So we have a 22 and a 1.
yeah, so the idea is that Crue is almost free, but the thing is Dylan is just messing up so severely that he himself mostly ends up tangled even more. Which Crue is still at least a little bit less tied up, but he still is because Dylan is just moving so much.
He Crue gets out of the leash, dusts himself off, turns around, and he sees Dylan just absolutely tied up in a leash, worse than when they were both before.
Yeah.
Crue just glances over, sighs. Here, give me a second, don't spill your coffee. And he takes the coffee out of Dylan's hand, puts both of them on the ground. and he's going to start trying to help Dylan undo it. So make another dex check, but with advantage because Crue's helping.
Okay, I almost put /R. I'm too used to dice parser. Okay, well, I'll take the 15 then.
Okay, with 15, I think 15, with the help of Crue, you are able to kind of slip your way out of the leash. Though I'd assume there's like a knot in there or something. You can worry about the knot later. But for now, you are free from the leash, and Crue is brushing himself off once again. He did not
Dylan
enjoy that a
is,
single
yeah.
moment.
He's just staring down at the ground for a minute, just like, oh god.
Okay, maybe he didn't hate it that much, but. Hmm. You know what? He didn't really hate it that much as soon as Dylan gets back up from being untangled. Kurt hands him back his coffee and puts a hand on his shoulder and is like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, physically, yes. My dignity, that's to be questioned right now.
Oh, darling, it's all right. I don't think any less of you.
He just kind of stares at Crew for a minute, and he's just staring.
Kurt's giving him a big ol' smile. You're actually pretty cute. Did you know that? Oh my god.
What?
I'll show it to you afterwards, but continue.
Okay, okay. Uh, sorry, my brain is blanking right now.
You're really getting into character right now, aren't you?
Crew is blue screening me. Oh no, no, I'm kidding. But no,
He has that effect.
Dylan, um, I feel like I should roll something. I don't know the right word. The most that I can think of is like constitution or wisdom.
Constitution?
Not yeah, not constitution. I just mean like, yeah, no, not constitution. Never mind. That is not the. Yeah, was saved. That's it. Sorry. Yeah, never mind. He's just gonna be a little bit of. He's just hold on. 12. So I'm trying to figure out.
I was scared for a moment.
No, that's not what I mean. No. My brain got confused because I started thinking of like a different role. But no, Dylan, he's fine, but he is teetering on the edge of just being horrendously flustered, and he is trying so hard not to be flustered right now.
Ugh. Good. The guy's getting all flustered and stuff.
Yeah. He's sputtering just a little bit, babbling and sputtering because he doesn't really know what to say in response, but he's trying.
Oh, darling, are you alright?
Yes, I am fine.
That's good. Crew's going to push him a little bit forward to continue their little walk.
Mhm.
I'm curious, as you are a local around here in Ghibli, do you have any places you could recommend? Hmm.
Um, I don't really get out much. but I mean, I try to stop by some of the parks around here, or like, because I know that there are like some greenhouses and stuff that maybe we could see. I usually just, if I'm out, I'm usually also just looking to buy plants.
Hello?
But
You just kind of stopped. I thought you still
oh
had more to say.
no,
You just kind of stopped at greenhouses, and I thought you were going to say more.
no.
Hmm. Yeah, I have noticed that the greenery around here is absolutely gorgeous. Any good greenhouses? Maybe there's a garden around here that I could take the kids to. We
Oh,
could
I
ooh and ah. Hmm?
I'm sorry. Does the we in this context refer to you and the kids, or
Well, if you really want to join us, you're more than free to. Or it could just be you and me right now. The kids aren't here.
okay,
Maybe we could do some scouting for them. Hmm?
okay, okay.
So where's it located? Hmm?
Hold on. I just need to gather my thoughts real quick.
Kurt just keeps guiding Dylan forward within the silence. He is being so smug about what he's doing. You look over and he's got this big old grin on him.
Dylan is has multiple thoughts, but the main one is God. He's not even saying anything. He's barely even saying anything. He's just offered maybe. Wait, maybe is it a date? He doesn't know if it's a date or not. Is this considered a date? Is he asking him on a date right now?
You don't know. That's the
He
scary
probably
part.
won't.
Well, do we have to take the train, the metro, the bus?
Um, I think we might need to take the bus. I just know that we're going in the wrong direction right now.
Ah, apologies, darling. You didn't tell me which direction we should be walking in.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I couldn't think for a second. Um,
It's alright.
I don't like
Do you like that one?
that. No, that's just him whispering.
I know. But yeah, he's turning them around towards the bus station in whichever direction Dylan points.
hmm I want to. I. Okay, never mind. What I. Oh my God, I can't stop. Give me a second. So yeah, I was. Why is it so hard for me to speak right now?
I don't know, buddy.
I'm struggling.
Maybe because you're next to a hot man.
No, no, this is me as the player.
It's the Dylan brain possessing you being next to a hot man. It
No,
happens.
I was trying to talk about the cat bus, but I don't know how to bring that up. Um,
Yeah, I imagine as they get to a bus station, as they're waiting for a bus, there's a thud, 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 thud. And Kurt just peeks over, and for a moment, he loses the bit of the cool guy persona he's been carrying around, as there are like little stars around him. And there's a little bit of a sparkle as he notices the fact that, oh my gosh, the cats here are buses. Oh.
Dylan is completely unfazed, but he does smile a little to Crew, just immediately lighting up to that.
I did not know that the cats were buses here. I do know for certain that the train are pulled by Cat's Spot. And as he boards, he extends a hand towards the cat bus, but he pulls back and turns towards Dylan. Is it rude to pet the cat buses here? Is that.
Mm,
Am I allowed to?
well, I mean, yeah, you're allowed to pet them as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they don't really get that much of that upset when I see other people pet them.
He extends a hand and he pets the side of the cat bus. I imagine the bus does a little. "Meow."
Yeah,
Actually,
just a little cat activation sound.
I think a lot of people would probably be petting the cat bus as they like
Yeah,
leave and stuff, as like thank you, and the
yeah,
cat's just like mewing a little bit to almost every pet, and then Krug
yeah.
just comes on board, pets the cat bus, comes inside. Oh, it's all fluffy.
Dylan will take a seat next to Crew and just give him a smile. He's just watching him enjoy this.
Yes, Crew is delighted. He doesn't care about flustering Dylan any longer. He's much more fascinated by the cat bus as he feels the seats. He looks around the interior. Just, oh, what a cute pet kitty.
Yeah, they're very sweet as well. I don't think they have names, but I did see one a while back that just had Gary on it, so maybe that they do. I don't know.
Oh. I sort of assumed that they would have more Japanese names, considering Ghibli, but
I was referencing family bonding because that's what Princess named one of them.
yeah, but that was one of the train cats, not the bus cats.
Oh,
Or
oh,
what?
that was the train cat. Never mind. I thought he did. Wait.
We'll worry about which one was named Gary,
I
but.
don't remember. It's been like 3 years, so it's
Oh
fine.
god, 3 years since family bonding, everybody.
No.
Oh god. But yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. Crew keeps petting the seat a little bit, but eventually once he's done being enamored by the cat, he goes back to Dylan and he rewraps his arm over Dylan's shoulder and just kind of hugs him a little bit closely.
Dylan is trying to not be flustered because, oh my god, if he gets flustered one more time, he's going to riot.
He's going
But
to find the closest hole. He's going to join the
yeah,
plants.
he's going to become fertilizer.
He will, it's a threat.
So with that, he picks up Bingo and sets him on his lap and wraps his free arm around Crew as well.
Chris smiles to feeling Dylan kind of hug back. And he sort of leans a little bit into Dylan.
He is very slightly leaning back.
Crew is back to his very smug look as he keeps petting the bus cat the entire ride there. Just being a
Oh.
little bit enamored by the details and stuff. If Dylan
Mhm.
has any more questions towards Crew, if he can even muster anything to say, then feel free to.
He definitely does want to know more about him, but
But
I will say after a few minutes because he's flustered as hell. Sorry, I almost dropped something. So after a few minutes, he does finally speak up again, and um, so I'm trying to figure out more questions I could ask because I do really badly want to know more about you.
hmm, go ahead.
Um, hmm. So I'm sorry if this is like a weird question, but do you like baking or something?
Oh, is it because I have a
Oh,
cake for a head?
I'm sorry, was that mean? I hope it wasn't mean.
I'm not particularly offended by it because I do love to bake. You are correct.
Oh, okay,
Actually,
okay.
I actually occasionally bake my own heads.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I bake my own heads. You know the heads that I wear. Right, right.
He, yeah, he just blinks a little bit at that.
Uh, just a little family thing that happens is for the fact that, well, you see, my family technically doesn't have a head. So but we do have a little bit of magic that whatever gets placed above our necks instantly becomes our head. And I've
Oh,
chosen to have a cake for a head.
that's really interesting, actually. Um, so you can have like anything as a head? I mean, I'd assume any object.
Mm-hmm. I sometimes like to switch it out. Sometimes I like having, I don't know, a wreath for a head. Other times I had an umbrella for a head. Those are very uncomfortable, by the way. A lamp for a head. It doesn't matter. As long as it's an object and it has something that can be translated to a face, I'll have it.
Oh, I, I mean, I don't really know how to segue into this. I was just,
It sort of explains why I'm a cake, despite the fact that my mother's a cupcake and my father's a tea kettle.
oh, I mean, a cake is close-ish to a cupcake. I mean, well, no, that I don't mean like they're the exact same. I just mean like they're like
I love him. Crue is just smiling and tittering a little bit to the constant fumbling. It's fine, it's endearing to him.
He's a mess.
He is a mess. He's a beloved mess. But yes, I am a baker. I love to bake. Maybe I could bake you something if I ever get the chance during this week. Or if I ever see you again. Actually, and he's going to take his hand off and he's going to reach into his hammer space. Fuck. 4. He pulls out a notepad and he flips about halfway into it. And takes out a pen, gives it a quick spin in his fingers, clicks it, and starts jotting down something, tearing the page out and handing it over to Dylan. It's a phone number.
Dylan stares at it for a while in a bit of silence before he takes it and he's kind of I don't know how to describe this, but he's holding onto it a bit tightly. And then he and then he puts it into his pocket, which is also his hammer space.
Crue clicks the pen off, closes the small little flip book, and he tucks it into his hammer space, which is into his jacket, like the inside flap of it.
Mhm.
And he resumes hugging Dylan. So you have some contact with me. If you send me a text message, I could come back to you. Maybe drop your address so I know where to drop off the cookies.
I
You have a favorite
would
kind of cookie?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really okay, I don't actually know how to phrase this in a way that's gonna sound not sad. I mostly just eat kind of plain foods, if I'm being honest, so I don't really mind any specific flavor. I kind of have boring taste. I think my favorite thing that I like to eat is just buttered toast.
Crue once again has that same concerned look that he first gave Dylan when he did a 22 insight on the fact that this guy has no friends. He is a little bit concerned for this guy.
I'm sorry, crew. I don't know what to say. I'm just sorry.
He takes a deep breath in. This is the guy he has chosen. It's fine. He'll make do with what he's got.
Hold on, and he starts waving his hands. I do cook. Granted, I do that for offerings, but I do cook. So, not terrible.
Oh. Crue has a bit of a cheeky idea.
I'm squinting at that idea. Dylan isn't squinting, but I, as the player, am squinting.
Crue hums for a long while, debating on if it's a good idea or not. But he looks down over to Dylan. It's just, you know what? I do have a week here. And if you'd really like a friend, how about this? You can make dinner, and I'll bring dessert. How does that sound? Your place.
Dylan is just, so the first thought in his head is, how did I do this?
You didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just like, what did I do? How did this happen?
You didn't do anything. You just met this guy, and that's it.
Your autism swag and like that, sure.
There you go. There's your answer. That's how you got this. Scale thought you deserved something for your efforts.
Praise Scale. Thank you, Scale.
For those, do you want to describe Scale to the people who don't know? Just a brief description.
Yeah, I will. Scale is the goddess that Dylan worships, the goddess of justice. That's the most I can really get into her character, but she is the goddess of justice.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Goddess
The
of
most
justice.
you need to know is that she's a giant woman who has a scale for a head.
Of course. Regardless. Of course. Okay.
Mhm.
So. So how does that sound?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, it sounds great.
When would it work best for you? I do hope not to interrupt you from your work if you do. Ooh. If you are currently working.
I mean, I don't really have any clients right now, so I'm kind of available whenever at this point.
How about Friday? I could go send the kids off on some stupid fetch quest around here, Ghibli. And
Wait, hold on. Would it be a bad thing to leave them on their own?
they're competent kids. If you saw the way that they handled their problems, you would believe me. They can handle themselves. Besides, there is somebody mature amongst them, so
Oh, okay.
I think over the age of 18.
What was that?
Nothing. The competent kids.
Uh,
He's smiling as if not all of them could beat the crap out of just a really powerful person.
it would be so hard for Crue to just explain this to Dylan
As
without
if their
saying.
combined efforts wouldn't be able to kill God. I don't know. They're competent. That's all Crue will say to Dylan. They don't even need Crue there. Crue doesn't contribute anything to them.
He
No,
doesn't
they
even
did
know
not
why
kill
they're around
God.
him at this point.
Okay, no. Clarification because Crows asked. They did not kill God, but if they tried, they probably could.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like didn't Madlod like kill a dragon with his own bare hands?
That came later in the timeline, but yes.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, Listen to Dungeons and Delicacies if you want context behind the about that dragon thing.
Yeah. Anyway, to get back on topic.
Back on topic.
Yeah, Dylan. He's a lot more relaxed with that knowledge, and he just gives him a nod.
Mm-hmm. Perfect then.
Oh wait, but what time would be good? Like 6 p.m., 6, 7?
You know what? 6 does sound good.
Okay. And
And
I will say with
go
that
ahead.
I will say that the bus eventually skids to a halt, and they are now at their stop.
Oh, would you look at that? There's the garden. Come on. You've ought to show me the best places here.
Dylan immediately lights up and pulls himself to his feet and follows Crew out of the bus. Then
Crue.
he gives it a good pat as he leaves as well.
Oh, yes, Crue forgets for a moment before having to be like, oh, wait a second, before it leaves. Trots back to the cat bus, rubs its side, and then trots back over to Dylan. And I think as he trots back, he's going to lock his elbow with Dylan. He's also going to throw away his empty coffee, so that way he can hold and twirl his cane properly. And he looks back to Dylan like, I'm ready to go. Come on.
I'm trying to figure out how to respond. Hold on. Dylan will do the same and trash his coffee, but with because I am thinking that they do it around like the exact same time, and then as soon as they're done, Crew just immediately grabs Dylan and is all right, let's go.
Yeah, just gonna grabs him. Like, come on.
He takes in a deep breaths to calm his nerves and leads him to the garden then. And trying to figure out how to describe it as well, but it is incredibly gorgeous and lavish. There are hedges pretty much everywhere. There's tons of potted flowers, different kinds, different yes.
Gorgeous, beautiful.
It is hold on, I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out.
No, I know what a garden looks like,
Yeah.
but I've been to gardens before.
No, I know, I just wanted to try and describe it, but
Alas. But yeah, as they're wandering around. Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry, I glanced at the chat. What are y'all doing? Okay, so. Oh, we are gonna have to do so much editing post.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Crew continues to wander about with Dylan just oohing and awing and going, oh, those are so pretty. What are these? What are those?
Dylan is immediately taking this as a chance to just talk about his favorite flowers and favorite plants as well.
Crew grins. Perfect. He's falling for the trap.
What trap? Oh no.
He's opening up about himself. He's talking more about his interest. Ha ha ha! The ultimate trap. Yes, he's lowering his guard. He's becoming more relaxed with the situation. Yes. But Kirk continues to ask him more questions, appearing to be a lot more engaged this time than the last time he rambled about honeysuckles or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
I mean, especially because there's visuals now.
Well, he's still blind.
Yeah, well, oh.
It's just by sheer luck he's been able to guess what the fuck everything around him is.
God, does he even know that Dylan is a mirror?
He'll find that out later. But he's oohing and he's awing. He's asking a lot more questions, trying to understand a little bit more about the flowers that are around here. And I
Mhm.
think they go to a particularly pretty spot. I mostly am thinking back to like a greenhouse garden that exists in
Yeah,
my place, which has this giant greenhouse with these very um that is absolutely dense with like very tropical plants.
yeah.
It's really nice and warm in there. And I think they find like an isolated balcony up there that overviews it, and it's just a gorgeous sight up there.
And the thought that I have is like it's kind of a curved balcony with like a bench or something there.
Yeah.
So I want to say that Dylan looks over the plants again and he's just so happy. He's in his element. This is such a nice place and he takes in a deep breath, lets out a sigh, and goes, I love this spot so much.
I see why. And he looks over the entire garden.
I thought that Crue was gonna say that and just look over at Dylan.
Oh no, he's glancing over at Dylan. But I think first of all he overlooks the entire garden and then just looks over to Dylan. Like, yes. A very beautiful sight.
I kind of want to roll to see how if Dylan picks up on that. Although he has not really been oblivious this game, so
Oh, come on, he's a lawyer. He's got to
yeah,
have some skill in sussing something out.
yeah. I'm just gonna roll an insight here. 26, not 20, perfect. So sorry, I had to cough for a second. He immediately just as soon as Crew starts looking at him for maybe a few seconds too long, then it immediately clicks what he's trying to do or say, really. And I'm gonna roll a wisdom save real quick. 19. Okay. Um, he does a relatively good job at keeping himself normal is not the word I'm looking for, but he's not flustered, surprisingly.
He's not flustered, but he catches
Hmm.
Kirk glancing over at him.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
Surprisingly.
Who is this? This isn't the Dylan I've known. This isn't the Dylan I was expecting to play with.
I know.
No, I'm joking.
Maybe I should give
No,
it
no,
disadvantage.
no, it's okay.
Okay.
But as Dylan instantly catches Crew glancing over, Crew gives him a bit of a smile and he comes a little closer to Dylan.
Dylan takes this and wraps his arm around Crew's waist.
Crew smiles even more as he leans just a bit more closer to Dylan.
I'm trying to decide whether or not he would lean away.
Dylan's already made a bold enough move to grab Cruz's waist.
Yeah.
That's all the energy he has to commit to this entire thing. From that point on, he's just flustered.
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah. He's he's been putting too much energy into not being flustered right now. I feel like at this point this is what's already starting to get
Oh, scale, oh, peck. I put an arm around his waist. Is that too bold of a move? Oh,
oh sweet
oh,
justice.
oh sweet
Oh
justice.
goodness. Oh scale above.
But yeah, while Dylan's being all flustered and stuff, I think Crue just takes his cane and just kind of turns Dylan's head towards him. If
Dylan,
Dylan shows no resistance, then he's being
yeah.
fucking kissed.
Dylan is just staring at him for a second. He's like, wait, are we gonna do what I think we're going to do?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Well, then let's. And I think with that, Crue kisses Dylan and he wraps his arms around Dylan's waist and hugs him close.
Dylan immediately wraps his arm around not his neck, that sounds wrong. It's around his upper torso mostly. And he leans into it quite a bit.
Unbelievable. That's fucking gay. But Crue keeps holding the kiss as long as they dare. And at some point pulls away, just grinning.
Dylan, the first thing he says is, "Wow."
Yeah, no, that gets a laugh out of Crue.
He just
Just
immediately he flusters a little bit, mostly in embarrassment though, because oh goodness, I can't believe I just said that.
wow, crikey. But Crue keeps smiling towards oh golly gee. Oh gosh. But he he grins and titters to Dylan just going, wow. And to Dylan getting all embarrassed about it, Kurt just kind of hugs him. It's like, oh, it's alright, darling. It just caught me a little off guard.
I
Mm.
uh
Your first kiss?
yeah.
Mm.
He just Dylan leans in more, just rests his head on Crue's shoulder and goes, "This is really nice."
Kurt is
I
still grinning back to Dylan as he hugs him a little bit close and overlooking the sight once more.
I I think I have another reason why this place is my favorite area now.
Aww. And he rests his head on top of Dylan's. Well, we can spend a little bit longer here. I don't think you've showed me everything around the garden. And besides, we can do this a lot more. When? Friday? I believe we agreed. When we have our dinner together.
Yeah. I just want to take a few more minutes here for a moment.
Of course, of course. I don't say. I'm not saying we have to move on right now.
Um, would it would it be a bit weird to say like an I love you or
Yes. We did kiss after all, didn't we?
yeah, um, then I will. Uh, Never mind, I can't actually get the words out of my mouth anymore. Um,
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
oh, Dylan takes a deep breath in and says, then, Elliot, uh,
Yes.
why is it so hard to say?
I'll give you until Friday to prepare if you need that time.
Thank you.
Of course. You are absolutely adorable. You are the cutest guy I have ever seen.
Can I just say how absolutely gorgeous you are? I have been keeping that in for so long. Um,
Well, I'm glad you were able to get it out.
Me too.
And I don't really have much else to add from here. I think this
Yeah.
might be a good ending point.
Yeah. Um, so, hold on, I need to think. I feel like the camera will sort of just zoom out, and it's just them sitting at the balcony for a while, and they're holding hands and they're hugging and just enjoying the view from the balcony.
They
And
are.
yeah, and that is where I'm going to leave this FPS off here.
I had the very stupid thought, unfortunately.
Hmm.
A. What is it called? Bathos? Yeah, it's a bathos. Of just Crue afterwards. Don't worry about what that word means. Google it. Um, of Crue returning back to his apartment after the date and saying his final goodbyes to Dylan. And he goes back to the apartment, and he thinks for a second on what he agreed to, and just hits his head upon the wall, and there's a very loud beeping sound as he lets out the worst word he can think of. Why? Why did he agree to this? But yeah,
A lawyer of all people.
a lawyer! He's screwed! Ugh! Okay, this is a cute lawyer. He can live with that. At least he doesn't smell. Okay. But thank you, everybody, for listening into
Yeah,
the gay little FPS.
yeah. There's gonna be so much being cut out of this.
If I ever get around to it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
so say our goodbyes.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.